Last week at Memorial Day Slam, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot dethroned the two kings, becoming new RWL Legends TV Tag Champions. Well, it seems like Eric Bischoff smells an opportunity for Zeus and the great Khali as they meet in this introductory non-title match.
I told you Bischoff was up to something, Christy. Now that the two kings are gone, Eric Bischoff smells an opportunity.
The next non-title tag team match is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle with Eric Bischoff at a combined weight of 757 pounds, the human wrecking machine Zeus and the great Khali.
Eric Bischoff evidently quietly making his plans and training up the human wrecking machine on the Punjabi Nightmare. Just this opportunity, now that Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot have seized the Legends TV tag titles, Eric Bischoff believes Zeus and the great Khali could beat future champions.
They've got power and size for sure, but tag team champions? They got all the personality of cardboard shipping boxes. And they don't have experience like Sarge and the Patriot have either.
Their opponents at a combined weight 545 pounds, the RWL Legends TV Tag Team Champions, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot.
Well, Sarge and the Patriot shutting down Jerry the King Lawler and Harley Race at the Memorial Day Slam to become the new RWL Legends TV Tag Champions. And they are going to have a really tough test in this particular matchup, going up against Zeus and the great Khali. I don't know, Don. Zeus and the great Khali, like I said, not the greatest. And, well, Sarge and the Patriot are the champs. I'm favoring them. I says, fine, go ahead. Try it for a non-title, but I don't think your boys will make it past the first 7 minutes. You can be a harsh judge, Myra. All right, here we go. Tom Kanamura rings the bell. Zeus and Sergeant Slaughter starting things off. A headlock punch from the Sarge to the human wrecking machine. A shot to the back. Sarge goes behind again. Drops Zeus to the canvas. Steps out and the Patriot comes in on the tag. Zeus is just getting to his feet. Sarge stunned him good. Overhand right from the Patriot. Rounds Zeus up to his feet. Drives a knee into the midsection. Follows it up with a couple of kicks to the chest. Zeus again laid out on the canvas. The Patriot goes air with an elbow across the chest and goes for an immediate pin. One. But only just a one. Zeus getting the left shoulder up very quickly. Eric Bischoff looking on, realizing that even a non-title win against the Legends TV Tag Champions would certainly carry some weight. The Patriot hung up on the top rope. Zeus makes his way back inside. They lock up. The Patriot countered with a kick from Zeus, an overhand right. The human wrecking machine escorting the Patriot to his team's corner. Head first into the turnbuckle goes the Patriot. A cheap shot from the great Khali. Zeus opens up with a series of punches. The Patriot slammed to the canvas by the throat by Zeus. The human wrecking machine debating what to do next. Eric Bischoff looking on, apparently waiting for the Patriot to stand, no longer waiting. Zeus stamping the hands of the Patriot. And the Patriot quickly back to his feet, collides with Zeus. Whoa! Whoa! The Patriot went flying, sailing through the air. Zeus with a powerful move right there. The Patriot slams Zeus to the canvas, makes his way to his corner, tags in the Sarge. Sergeant Slaughter charges in, drives a knee into the head of Zeus, goes after the great Khali, gets hung up on the ropes. The Punjabi Nightmare standing there implacable. Sarge drives a knee into the head of Zeus, turns his attention back to the great Khali, hangs him up on the rope in retaliation, and returns his attention to Zeus. Sarge off the middle rope, cross body across the back of the human wrecking machine. Zeus rounded up. Sarge locks in this submission. Zeus not going to tap out to that. There's a shot to the midsection. Sergeant Slaughter whipped to the ropes, a clothesline from Zeus. followed up with a kick to the back and a stomp to the leg of Sergeant Slaughter. Zeus shoved away by the Sarge. He takes a step to the outside here. Turns his attention to the Great Khali, gets shoved away. Sergeant Slaughter returns his attention to Zeus, with Eric Bischoff keeping a respectable distance, at least for the moment. Discus punch to Zeus from the Sarge. The Sarge makes his way back inside the ring. Sergeant Slaughter eyeing the Great Khali. The Great Khali hangs Sarge up on the ropes. Sarge, crawling his way to his corner, makes the tag to the Patriot. Charges Zeus, drives a knee into his side, but doesn't take him down. Zeus whipped to the ropes, a back body drop from the Patriot, who goes for a cover. One, but who? The Great Khali quickly there to break it up. He and the Sarge, whoa, look at this. The Great Khali shoving the Patriot. The Patriot with a kick to the midsection. The Khali shoves him into the corner again. Zeus with a clothesline. The Patriot drives a right into the face of the Great Khali, who returns to his corner. The Patriot hung up on the top rope by Zeus. That got chaotic there for a moment. There's a kick to the midsection from the Patriot. He's got him up. Whoa, a shoulder breaker from the Patriot as Khali comes in on the tag. The Patriot avoids the clothesline from Khali, delivers a kick, avoids a second clothesline, catches a series of elbows from the Great Khali. The Punjabi Nightmare countered with a kick by the Patriot. The Patriot escorting the Great Khali to his corner, head first into the turnbuckle he goes, but he counters Sergeant Slaughter with a cheap shot to the back of the head of the Great Khali. The Patriot slams him right back into the corner again. Here comes the Sarge on the tag. Here comes a double team kick to the midsection for the Great Khali. And Sarge starts to open up here with a headlock punch, goes behind on the Great Khali. A clubbing right to the chest. The Great Khali trying to stand up. Sarge drives a knee into the head of the Punjabi Nightmare. Khali counters with a jawbreaker and takes Sarge down with a clothesline, follows up with a running dropkick. Sergeant Slaughter catches a headbutt, and all of a sudden, Sergeant Slaughter on the defensive rolls to the outside. The Great Khali stamping viciously on Sergeant Slaughter on the outside as the referee counts. Sarge driven into the barricade by the Great Khali. Khali has him up, drives his back into the barricade again. Sergeant Slaughter slams down the Great Khali to the floor, gathers him back up again, whips him towards the timekeeper's area, makes his way back inside. The Patriot on the outside winds up the punch. Wow, a hard shot. The Great Khali slid down the side of the barricade like molten jello. The Patriot goes for it again. Meanwhile, on the other side of the screen, Sergeant Slaughter up on the top turnbuckle, standing by waiting for Zeus, but Zeus returns to a standing position. The Great Khali regaining control of things on the Patriot side. Sergeant Slaughter makes his way to his side. Oh, a headbutt to the back of the head of Sarge. Khali drives a knee into the head of the Sarge. The Punjabi Nightmare catches a kick to the midsection. Sarge with another kick. The Great Khali, with Sergeant Slaughter up over the shoulders, allows his head to crash right into the lip of the apron. A clubbing overhand right from the Great Khali as the Patriot returns to his tag corner. Whoa! The Great Khali pitching Sergeant Slaughter his throat. Sarge certainly not going to appreciate that. The Patriot brought into the ring by the Great Khali. A spine buster to Sergeant Slaughter. The Great Khali firmly in control of both men here. Wow. The Punjabi Nightmare with a claw to the face of the Sergeant slams him down. Sergeant Slaughter in big trouble. The Patriot still reeling from the attack by the Great Khali as Zeus comes in on the tag. Sergeant Slaughter regains his senses, returns to the ring. The Patriot still out of it. Zeus with a running kick to the Sarge. Sergeant Slaughter back up on his feet. Delivers a headbutt to Zeus. The Patriot returns to his corner. Zeus with Sarge. Back body drop to Sergeant Slaughter. The human wrecking machine tagging the great Khali back in. Sergeant Slaughter, whoa! Running shoulder tackle, catches a cheap shot from Zeus. The great Khali gathered back to his feet by Sergeant Slaughter. Sarge taking Khali to his corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Here's the tag. The Patriot coming in, assuming control, but first this double team. Khali draped over the ropes, and a double axe handle to the back from the Patriot. The great Khali with a jawbreaker and a clothesline. Quickly taking the Patriot down. Patriot stands himself back up. The great Khali escorts him to his team's corner. Referee Tom Canamora clearly in the way. Elbows to the midsection of the great Khali from the Patriot. And whoa! What a spine buster. Here's a cover. The referee, whoa, well, the Zeus breaking up the pin there. The Patriot rounds up the great Khali. Sergeant Slaughter shows Zeus the outside. And the Patriot winding it up here into a sharpshooter. The great Khali in big time trouble. Eric Bischoff looking very concerned. But the great Khali looks like he's going to find his way out. He's trying. He's trying to fight his way, yet he is. He's got, oh, look at this. Disengages the Patriot successfully. The great Khali. The damage may already be done. There's a claw to the face of the Patriot. And a slam. Eric Bischoff up on the apron complaining bitterly. A knee to the head of the Patriot. The great Khali back in control. Meanwhile, Sergeant Zeus battling it out on the outside. The Patriot counters the great Khali with a chop block behind the knee. Sergeant Slaughter and Zeus resuming their tag corners. The great Khali with a right. The Patriot with a knee. The great Khali with a knee to the midsection. He's got that claw in place again. And another claw slam from the great Khali. The Patriot rolls out for a second. Gets himself back inside. The Patriot locks up, but the great Khali counters with elbows. Khali countered by the Patriot. The Patriot locks him up. Winds it up for that big time punch, and there it goes. That uppercut takes the great Khali down. Here comes Sergeant Slaughter. The great Khali laid out just about center ring. A stomp to the midsection from the Sarge. Sergeant Slaughter rounds him up. Has him in the crossface center ring. Great Khali tapping out. That is it, Sarge, and the Patriot defeating Khali and Zeus by submission.
The time was 11 minutes and 2 seconds. Your winners, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot.
I almost feel bad for Zeus and Khali, almost now. You can tell they really wanted this win over Sarge and the Patriot. They fought like super extra hard here, but the champs are running on a hot streak since Memorial Day, and it looks like they're gonna ride it till the wheels fall off.
And why shouldn't they? They spent a couple of years spinning their wheels going nowhere, and now they're Legends TV Tag Champs. They're on top. They might as well enjoy the ride.
Indeed, Sergeant Slaughter and the Patriot coming up with a submission win over Zeus and the great Khali. And we'll be back with more RWL Rage in just a moment.